My child, if you choose to ignore me now, know that I will ignore you forever. Did those words just make your heart skip a beat? Good. It means you are still spiritually alive enough to feel the immense weight of eternity pressing against this crucial moment. In exactly 7 seconds, you will fully comprehend why your guardian angel broke every protocol, even risking their own position, to ensure you heard this message today. They utilized their once-in-existence emergency override, because what unfolds in the next 17 minutes will undeniably determine whether heaven will respond to you tomorrow. Stop everything else you are doing immediately. I am absolutely serious. That notification that just buzzed on your phone can certainly wait. That deceptive thought whispering to you that this is merely another message is a calculated lie, planted by dark forces who intimately know your destiny hinges precariously on these very next moments. 3 specific people were chosen to receive this unique frequency today. 2 have already scrolled past, completely unaware. You are the third. You are the last, crucial chance. And if you choose to disengage now, this profound opportunity will transfer to someone else in exactly 90 seconds. You will not receive another divine interruption of this magnitude for 7 long years. You felt that undeniable shift just now, didn't you? That strange, almost weighty sensation in your chest, that unexplainable inner knowing that something massive, something truly monumental, is actively happening in spiritual realms you cannot yet perceive. Your spirit recognizes this truth instantly, even as your mind is still struggling to process it. This is no mere coincidence. This is not some random algorithm. This is direct divine intervention, powerfully breaking through 7 dense layers of spiritual interference to reach you at this precise, critical moment when everything in your life can still change. Let me reveal to you what remains hidden from your understanding. Just 12 hours ago, in the majestic courtroom of heaven itself, your name was called, not a hushed whisper, but a resounding shout. The accuser had meticulously constructed a formidable case against you, backed by 7 years of comprehensive documentation. Every single moment, you chose fleeting comfort over your divine calling. Every instance you postponed action, declaring tomorrow instead of today. Every prayer you abandoned mid-sentence because the allure of Netflix seemed more compelling. Every morning you instinctively reached for your phone before seeking my divine presence. The evidence presented was unequivocally damning. The judgment was on the brink of being irrevocably sealed. But then, your faithful guardian angel did something truly unprecedented. They bravely invoked the sacred mercy clause, the one provision that can only be utilized once in an entire human lifetime. They then presented compelling counter-evidence. They revealed to all of heaven the unseen battles you silently fought, battles no one on earth ever witnessed. The tears you secretly cried at 3 a.m., believing I wasn't listening. The countless times you almost surrendered to despair, but, against all odds, somehow kept breathing. The selfless prayers you offered for others, even when your own life felt like it was completely falling apart. And in that profound, pivotal moment, heaven itself paused. The gavel, poised for final judgment, stopped midair. And I spoke 4 definitive words that instantly changed everything. Give them one more chance. That precious chance is offered to you right now, in this very moment. It resides within these very words. But allow me to reveal what heaven has unveiled, a profound truth that hell has been desperately, strategically hiding from you. You are not just another person merely trying to make it through life. You are carrying something so incredibly dangerous to the forces of darkness that 12 powerful demons have been specifically assigned to you, tasked solely with keeping you distracted, comfortable, and perpetually mediocre. They possess a crucial knowledge that you do not. They know that if you ever fully wake up to who you truly are, if you ever completely surrender to the divine purpose and power I have intricately placed inside you, their entire generational stronghold over your bloodline will utterly collapse. You might believe you've been feeling unusually tired lately due to the demands of work, overwhelming stress, or the simple passage of age. However, the profound truth is that you've been utterly exhausted because every single night, whether you're consciously aware of it or not, you have been fiercely fighting in the spiritual realms. Your very spirit has been valiantly wrestling against powerful principalities that seek to abort your divine purpose before you even have the chance to discover it. That is precisely why you consistently wake up feeling utterly drained and exhausted. That is why your dreams often feel like intense, forgotten battles. That is why true peace feels so incredibly elusive and out of reach. You have been at war, a profound spiritual war, and you didn't even know it. But I knew. I have meticulously watched every single battle you've endured. I have seen every wound you've sustained. I have carefully counted every tear you've shed. The sacred books of heaven contain precisely 43,000 entries detailing your struggles. This is not some arbitrary, random number. It is the exact, precise count as of this very moment. 43,000 times heaven has documented your pain, witnessed your unwavering faithfulness, and recorded your steadfast refusal to completely surrender, even when everything within you desperately wanted to. And now, heaven is poised and ready to respond powerfully to you, but only if you finally stop taking me for granted. Allow me to reveal a profound truth about yourself, something you have never truly understood. You exist in a world that has systematically conditioned you to treat me like a mere backup plan, like an emergency insurance policy, or even like a cosmic vending machine you only approach when you desperately need something. You have been subtly programmed to believe I am distant, passively waiting in heaven, occasionally interested in human affairs. But I tell you, that is the most insidious lie hell ever sold to humanity. I am not distant at all. I am so incredibly close that every single breath you take is borrowed directly from my very lungs. Every heartbeat pulsing within you is sustained by my divine rhythm. Every single thought you conceive passes through my consciousness first. You take me for granted precisely because you have forgotten who I truly am. You have tragically reduced me to mere religion, to a routine Sunday morning obligation, to a last resort crisis management tool. But I am the transcendent God who spoke entire galaxies into existence with a mere whisper. I am the omnipotent God who holds atoms together by the sheer force of my will. I am the all-knowing God who precisely knows the number of hairs on your head. And yes, that exact number changed this very morning when you brushed your hair. 3 fell out. I counted every single one. That is how intimately and intricately I am involved in every detail of your existence. Yet, you persist in living as if I am entirely optional. You wake up and check your phone for external validation before ever checking in with me. You meticulously plan your entire day without ever consulting the one who sovereignly holds tomorrow. You make crucial decisions based solely on your human logic, paralyzing fear, or fleeting desire, but rarely, if ever, based on my divine voice. You have grown so comfortable with my unfathomable patience that you have tragically mistaken it for my silent approval. You have confused my silence with my complete absence. You have misinterpreted my boundless mercy as a sign of weakness. But now, I am about to reveal to you who I truly am in my full majesty. Remember King Saul? I personally chose him. I divinely anointed him. I granted him victory after victory. Yet, his worldly success caused him to forget the divine source of his strength. His power led him to trust his own fallible judgment over my infallible word. He began to subtly edit my clear commands to better suit his personal comfort. He offered only partial obedience and audaciously labeled it worship. And when directly confronted, he shamelessly justified his actions. He feared the fleeting opinions of people more than he revered my constant presence. So, I reluctantly removed my protective hand from him. My spirit sorrowfully departed. His tragic story culminated in madness and a desolate death. Not because I ceased loving him, but because he stopped recognizing my authority and my essence. And my child, this narrative could very well become your story. In fact, it is already progressively becoming your story. Every single day you prioritize everything else over me. You are actively writing another lamentable chapter of spiritual decline. Every moment you deliberately silence my voice to immerse yourself in the world's incessant noise. You are actively constructing formidable walls between us. Walls I will not forcibly penetrate. I bestowed upon you free will not so you could destructively misuse it, but so you could freely choose to love me with all your heart. Yet, you have consistently chosen everything except me. You pray only when you are in desperate need. You read my word only when boredom sets in. You worship only when you feel like it. You serve only when it is convenient for you. But I am not a part-time God. And I will absolutely not accept part-time devotion. I am not interested in your mere leftovers. I demand your first fruits. I desire your best hours, not just your exhausted minutes. I long for the throne of your heart, not a forgotten corner chair. I want all of you, or I want none of you. The world has cunningly taught you to treat me casually, to approach me without proper reverence, to utter my sacred name without appropriate weight. But I am holy. I am the transcendent God before whom legions of angels reverently cover their faces and ceaselessly cry, Holy, holy, holy. I am the God whose very presence causes mighty mountains to melt and vast seas to part. I am the God whose glory is so utterly intense that no mere human can ever gaze upon my face and live. Yet, you approach me as if I am merely your casual buddy, your personal genie, or your last-ditch backup plan. You have tragically lost the profound fear of the Lord. And in losing that foundational fear, you have lost wisdom's very beginning. But even now, even after all your casual dismissal of me, even after years of consistently treating me as merely optional, my unwavering love for you burns with an intensity that would utterly incinerate you if you were to feel its full, unrestrained force. That is precisely why I filter it. That is why I carefully measure it out in portions your fragile humanity can safely handle. But do not ever mistake that measured grace for a lack of profound passion. I am fiercely jealous for you, with a divine jealousy that makes all human emotion seem like faint shadows. I desire you with an intense longing that preceded your very existence. I chose you before I ever laid the foundations of the earth. Your name was already on my lips before your own parents even conceived of it. Listen now, listen very carefully to what I am about to reveal to you, because this right here is the absolute pivot point. This is the precise moment where everything in your life either profoundly changes or nothing ever will. In the next 72 hours, I am going to send you 3 unmistakable signs. These will not be subtle hints or mere, maybe that was God moments. No, these will be 3 undeniable, tangible confirmations that I am speaking directly to you right now. The first sign will manifest within 6 hours. Someone you haven't heard from in years will suddenly contact you, and their words will directly relate to something deeply personal you have been privately praying about. The second sign will come tomorrow. A door you were absolutely convinced was permanently closed will crack open just enough for you to glimpse a new, powerful possibility. The third sign will arrive on the third day. A distinct physical sensation in your body, perhaps profound healing, overwhelming relief, or a surge of sudden, vibrant energy, will confirm beyond doubt that heaven has heard your cry and responded specifically to you. However, these powerful signs come with specific conditions. Starting right now, for the entirety of the next 72 hours, I need you to seek me like your very life depends on it. Because it absolutely does. Wake up tomorrow morning at precisely 5:55 a.m. Not 6 o'clock, not 5:45, but exactly 5:55. That specific time holds profound significance for you in the spiritual realm. When you awaken, before your feet even touch the floor, before you instinctively reach for your phone, say these exact words with deep conviction. I choose you today above everything else. I surrender all my plans to your divine purpose. I am listening. Then, remain utterly quiet for 7 minutes. Do not pray. Do not read. Just listen. I will speak. It might manifest as a profound thought that seems to come from nowhere. It might be a gentle warmth in your chest. It might be a sudden, undeniable knowing about something specific you need to do. But I will speak, and you will unequivocally know it is me, because my message will directly address the exact thing you have been most afraid to bring before me. Delete 3 specific apps from your phone right now. You instinctively know exactly which ones they are, don't you? The ones that relentlessly steal your precious time, insidiously feed your comparison to others, or perpetually fuel your distractions. Heaven cannot download its vital new software while your spiritual storage is completely full of hell's insidious applications. This is not rigid legalism. This is essential spiritual hygiene. You would never consider eating from a dirty, contaminated plate, would you? Then stop deliberately feeding your precious spirit from toxic, contaminated sources. Text someone right now with these precise words. I have been praying for you. You don't need to understand why. You don't need to offer any explanation. Just send it immediately to the very first person who comes to your mind after reading this sentence. That specific person desperately needs to know that heaven has certainly not forgotten them. And you, my child, are about to become the unexpected messenger that saves their faltering faith. Here is a crucial truth you don't fully grasp about the spiritual realm. Every single action you take in the natural world has an amplified, resounding impact in the supernatural. When you consciously choose me over your fleeting comfort, divine armies mobilize on your behalf. When you prioritize my sacred presence over your meticulously laid plans, powerful angels are immediately dispatched. When you choose to obey, even when you don't fully understand the why, spiritual chains break in realms you cannot see. But conversely, when you ignore me, when you delay your obedience, when you treat my voice as merely one option among many others, you actively give the enemy legal ground to operate and wreak havoc in your life. That is precisely why your finances have been under relentless attack. That is why your relationships consistently fail. That is why persistent health issues keep surfacing. That is why true peace so tragically eludes you. That is why joy feels like a mere, distant memory. You have inadvertently given the enemy permission through your consistent spiritual negligence. Every single day you continue to take me for granted is another precious day you willingly hand over to the encroaching darkness. And understand this. Darkness has been meticulously collecting its due, with accumulating interest. But tonight, right now, in this very moment, heaven is offering you a complete reset, a fresh start. Not because you inherently deserve it. You absolutely don't. Not because you have somehow earned it. You truly haven't. But purely because I love you with a profound love that defies all human logic and comprehension. I love you knowing everything you have ever done, every past mistake. I love you knowing every single time you will stumble and fail in the future. I love you knowing how often you will inevitably forget this powerful moment and regress back into old, detrimental patterns. I love you anyway, regardless of all this. But true love requires a responsive heart, and your response to me has been conspicuously absent. Allow me to tell you the inspiring story of James from Detroit. Just 3 weeks ago, he received this very message. He almost scrolled right past it, but something, a divine nudge, compelled him to stop. He obediently followed the instructions, even though his rational, logical mind told him it was utterly foolish. Within 72 hours, the company that had previously rejected him for a job called him back. They admitted they had made a mistake. He started work last Monday at double the salary he had originally requested. But that, my child, was not the true miracle. The real, profound miracle was that he began waking up faithfully at 5:55 a.m. every day to meet with me. And for the first time in his 43 years of life, he heard my voice clearly, not audibly with his ears, but undeniably within his spirit. And in that moment, everything in his life dramatically changed. Maria from Brazil, however, chose to ignore this crucial message 6 months ago. She deluded herself into thinking she had plenty of time. She rationalized that tomorrow would somehow be better. She believed she could continue to manage life on her own terms for a little while longer. But last month, everything she had painstakingly built completely collapsed. Her thriving business, her significant relationship, her very health, all of it crumbled tragically within 3 weeks. She sent a desperate message yesterday, expressing her profound regret and wishing she had listened. She is starting over now, but she irrevocably lost 6 months of her divine destiny. Time, my child, is not renewable. Opportunities are not limitless. Grace has its specific seasons and windows. Then there's David from London, who typed 777 in the comments, with tears streaming unashamedly down his face. He had been meticulously planning to end his life that very night. The pills were prepared, the farewell note was written. But something, a powerful inner compulsion, made him watch this message first. The moment he typed those sacred numbers, a profound heat flooded his chest. Not merely a metaphorical warmth, but an actual, palpable physical sensation that felt exactly like being divinely held. He immediately called the suicide hotline instead of taking the pills. Today, 3 months later, he is now counseling others who find themselves standing exactly where he once stood. He often says that typing 777 saved his life. But it wasn't the numbers themselves. It was the radical act of obedience. It was the profound surrender. It was finally saying yes to me instead of yes to overwhelming despair. Right now, as you read these words, heaven is watching. Not casually observing, but intently, profoundly watching. The specific angels assigned to you are holding their very breath. The great cloud of witnesses is leaning forward with anticipation. All of heaven is collectively waiting to see what you will do with this precise, critical moment. Will you treat it like every other fleeting message you have ever heard? Will you feel something for a few transient minutes, then simply go back to business as usual? Will you vaguely promise to change tomorrow? Or will you finally recognize that this is the very moment heaven has been meticulously preparing for years? Your mother has been ceaselessly praying for you. Even if she has passed on to glory, her powerful prayers are still active and resounding in heaven's courts. Those accumulated prayers have been steadily building immense pressure in the spiritual realm, patiently waiting for you to align with them through your obedience. Your breakthrough, my child, isn't just about you alone. It is about every dedicated prayer warrior who has stood in the gap for you. It is about the generational blessing waiting to flow powerfully through you to children not yet born. It is about the countless lives you are destined to impact once you are truly walking in your divine purpose instead of your lingering pain. But none of it happens if you keep taking me for granted. None of it truly manifests if you treat this as merely another motivational moment instead of a divine summons from the King of Kings. Heaven has already done everything humanly possible, everything except override your sacred free will. The stage is perfectly set. The divine resources are released. The angels are strategically positioned. Your breakthrough is hovering, ready to manifest. But you have to reach for it. You have to actively choose it. You have to decisively act on it. Type 777 in the comments right now. Not later. Not after you've had time to ponder it. Right now, those 3 numbers serve as your solemn agreement with heaven. They are your public declaration that you are finally done taking me for granted. They are your spiritual signature on a divine contract that unequivocally states, from this moment forward, I choose God first. Not eventually, not when it's merely convenient, but first, always first. The instant you type those numbers, sacred documents in heaven will be stamped. Divine resources currently held in escrow will be immediately released. Angels on standby will be activated for your mission. Miracles scheduled for someday will be moved to now. Then, share this powerful message with exactly 3 people, not your entire contact list. 3 specific individuals. You already know precisely who they are. Their faces just vividly flashed in your mind. One of them has been crying themselves to sleep. One of them is on the verge of making a life-altering decision that could utterly destroy their destiny. One of them has been quietly wondering if I have entirely forgotten them. You, my child, are about to become the direct answer to their secret prayer. You are about to become the living evidence that I have absolutely not forgotten them, but only if you obey. Only if you act. Only if you finally stop taking me for granted. The spiritual portal that miraculously opened when you started reading this message is closing in precisely 60 seconds. This is not metaphorical, it is absolutely literal. The unique spiritual frequency that enabled this urgent message to powerfully break through all the interference surrounding your life is about to shift and disappear. Once it closes, it will not open again for 7 long years. 7 years of ceaselessly wondering what truly could have been. 7 years of knowing deep in your soul that you had a crucial moment and tragically missed it. 7 years of painfully watching others walk in the abundant blessings that rightfully could have been yours. Or, right now, in this very second, you can choose to change everything. You can decisively stop the debilitating cycle of spiritual procrastination. You can definitively end the destructive pattern of treating me as optional. You can courageously begin the divine journey I have been calling you to since before you were even born. You can step boldly into the magnificent version of yourself that heaven clearly sees when it looks at you. You can become truly dangerous to darkness and brilliantly radiating with my light. You can shift from merely being a survivor to a powerful thriver, from feeling forgotten to being deeply favored, from being broken to experiencing a glorious breakthrough. But you have to choose now, not tomorrow. Tomorrow isn't promised to you. Not later. Later is a dangerous lie. Now, this second, this breath, this heartbeat. Choose me now, and I will reveal myself to you in profound ways that will make your entire past relationship with me look like faint shadows compared to glorious sunlight. Choose me now and watch heaven powerfully invade your circumstances with a conquering power that makes impossibility bow before you. Choose me now and experience what it truly feels like to be fully alive, fully loved, fully known, and fully empowered by my spirit. The final countdown has officially started. 30 seconds remain. Your destiny is waiting. Your breakthrough is hovering, ready to descend. Your miracle is poised and ready to manifest. Heaven is watching with bated breath. Hell is trembling in fear. Angels are poised, awaiting their marching orders. 20 seconds. This is your definitive moment. This is your divine interruption. This is your burning bush encounter. This is your road to Damascus revelation. This is your upper room empowerment. 10 seconds. Type 777. Share with 3. Choose me. 5 seconds. Everything changes. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the glorious beginning of everything you have been longing and waiting for. The portal is now sealed. The contract is signed. The angels are moving. Watch closely what happens next. It has already begun.